Hello, my name is Austin Lehman, and welcome to the next edition of Austin Weekend. Here with me is Dad, and we are here to tackle a very interesting case in cartoon history.
A classic, I think.
Yeah, I think.
There's never been nothing really made like it.
And it's one of the stranger ones that's been ever made.
It is, of course,
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
It was created by Maxwell Adams for Cartoon Network.
Has he done anything else, or was that mainly his only thing?
He was an intern working at Warner Brothers, making their animated movies at the time when they were competing with Disney.
I think it's a really unique story. Basically, it's two kids, Billy and Mandy.
Well, Billy is an idiot.
Idiot. His father, you know where he gets his idiocy from, because his father's an idiot.
And Mandy is another. Holy moly! She
is dark and
she doesn't
mean, and she's a girl, and man, she's a mean girl.
And Grim has this really cool Jamaican accent
yeah,
that I also really like.
And they basically have control over Grim, so they're his boss, and it's just them all living together. I mean, there's not a lot of depth to it. It's just the adventures.
But they do talk about death a lot and dark stuff and skeletons and.
Yeah.
It's actually got away with a lot of stuff that kids shows at the time didn't really get away with much.
But it's really good. I really did like the show. It's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites from Cartoon Network.
I even like the video game that came from it.
So much fun.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That's a fun little video game. Well, it was for the GameCube.
Same case with Ed, Edd and Eddy. That we also mentioned the video game.
Yeah. So if you've got a GameCube out there and you like Billy and Mandy, I do recommend trying to find that video game. It's a fun little video game to play too.
And what do you think about the characters?
I think the characters are awesome. There's nobody the same.
They differentiate from one to another.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of ones thrown together and they're trying to make something fun. I mean, it's really well thought out. I liked it.
Sure,
Billy's a stupid little boy. Mandy's a mean little girl, but you like them. They're even as bad as they are in different ways. They're likable characters.
Yes.
And poor Grim.
He has to be stuck with them for all eternity.
You feel sorry for Death. You do. You feel sorry for him because he's got to put up with those two. But
the situations they get into are pretty good too.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of good side characters too.
Fred Burger.
Fred Burger. Yeah.
And one of my favorite quotes from any cartoon comes from Billy. Destroy us all! Destroy us all!
Yes. What's the little boy that likes Mandy? Irwin's on there quite a bit. Irwin's sort of funny. He's like the nerd.
The nerd character.
The little nerd kid. And there's all kind of characters on it.
There's a slew of Halloween themed characters that are very creative.
And the stories are unique, and they deal with not everyday cartoon kiddie stuff. It's a really good series.
Like we mentioned before, the show has material that kids and adults can enjoy. And that's an element in cartoons that I, in particular, like.
Yeah, you don't want it just to be a little kiddie cartoon, or you don't want it to be just an adult cartoon. It's good to where the family could sit down together and watch it. It's probably not for little bitty kids because there's a lot of violence in it, but that's what makes it good, though. But
lots of fun cartoony violence, right?
Lots of fun cartoony violence, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with fun cartoony violence. All the fluff balls out there can get over that.
Yeah.
Little cartoony violence is good for cartoons.
What do you think about
the old classic Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, and the anvil dropping on the Cody? There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I grew up with. I'm not a serial killer.
And the characters are all, like we said, are all really creative, and they differentiate from one to another. It's a key part of what makes a show good is its characters, and it does a very good job.
They play off of each other well. They have good communication. The characters play off of each other well. What do you think about the voice acting?
The voice acting is superb.
It is probably one of the best cartoons ever with their voice acting.
Well, here's a very fun thing I have to mention.
What's that?
Billy's voice is provided by Richard Horvitz. Hope I'm saying that right. Who is the same guy who provides the voice of Invader Zim.
Ooh, Invader Zim. I know I like it. I love me some Invader Zim too.
And I can hear a bunch of Zim in Billy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like Zim. Who's your favorite character, or what's your favorite part of it?
My favorite character. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one in that one.
That's a tough one.
I just love Grim.
You love Grim with the Jamaican accent and his laid back attitude.
The Jamaican death with his sickle.
Really,
you feel so sorry for him. He gets tortured a lot in the cartoons. Set on fire and broke all to pieces and all kinds of stuff done to him.
But since he's the Grim Reaper, he can put himself back together.
But I mean, he's a fun character. They made death funny.
How can you do that?
I don't know, but they did with that cartoon. It's really well made. I liked it.
What do you think about the different animation styles?
I like it all. I like it. I like the basic animation of it.
I think it's nice and quick and
clean.
The show's humor. Let's talk about the comedy for a second. Mm-hmm. The comedy goes at 360 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's a really fast-paced comedy.
Yes, it's very fast-paced with its jokes. It goes like...
Yeah, they don't go into the bathroom at the beginning of the cartoon and come out at the end. It goes by quick.
They just throw jokes repeatedly.
Yeah.
And then eventually one of those will make you get a good laugh.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had my fair share of good laughs with this cartoon.
All right, you want to go and do some rating for it?
Well, why not?
Well, you want to explain the ratings?
The ratings, we go from 1 to 10. 1
being
garbage.
10 being
the best thing ever.
And
dumpling time.
Yeah, we don't use stars as a rating. We go
Typical
1 through 10
stuff.
Yeah, we pull stuff from the movie. Like for Kung Fu Panda, it was dumplings.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you want to pull out of this one? What do you want to pull out of Billy and Mandy to rate them with?
I don't know.
Me neither. It's such a weird show.
But it's funny.
It's really good. It's really a funny, good show. You want to use deaths on it? How many deaths do you give it?
No, Bones is good.
You want to use Bones? Okay. 1 being horrible Bones, 10 being awesome Bones. How many bones do you give the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Well, I'll have to think about this one because I might have to think real hard for this one.
I love it. I'm in the 9.5, 9.6 range. It's up there on my top.
It's just a fantastic show.
It's a top 10 cartoon for me. All-time top 10. Well, all-time top 10, modern cartoons.
It came out in the 2000s.
Yeah, so, but
it's a really fantastic show.
Yeah, it's a really fantastic. How many bones do you give it then?
So what was your rating?
I'm around 9.5, 9.6 or something like that.
I'm probably around that rating too. Yeah. I just find the characters to bounce off each other very well. The comedy is fast-paced, and it throws a lot of jokes at your face. But
if you haven't watched it before, we do recommend it.
The jokes are funny.
It gets the
seal of approval.
It is awe-inspiring. So go out and watch it.
Go out and watch it. Yes.
And we've got some more stuff coming up. It's been a while since we've been out, but we got some movies, we got some new cartoons, we got a bunch of stuff coming.
We have the Boss Baby.
Yeah. So be sure and keep on watching. Be sure and hit the like button.
Hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe button and hit the
Groovy Baby button.
There will be a Groovy Baby button appearing above Austin's head at the end of the video. So be sure and hit the Groovy Baby button. Other than that, we're out.
Destroy us all. See you next week.